What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Snotty Blitz. Yep, day 2 of the cold. Enjoying it, living it up. It is Friday, March 17th, 2023. Happy St. Patty's Day to you all. Hope you're not snotty on your in your green beer. Maybe that's what makes it green. I don't know. Anyway, we are suffering through day 2. This has become my best friend. Tissues, got snot rags all over the place. So excited to be here. Can you tell? Jesus Christ, this sucks. Yeah, I live in Florida too. Can't go outside. Feel like shit. Anyways, today's topic, let's get into it. D-line. Let's focus on the D-line. Ignore the snot running down my face. The D-line has been slipping over the last couple of years. And I know Larry's getting up there in age. Coach Jay, all due respect. And I'm not about to disrespect you just because I just said all due respect. But the D-line, I believe, is under some heat, under some fire to get more pressure, reestablish themselves. And like I talked about yesterday on the third-year players, I mentioned JT and Jack specifically, along with Mike Hall and Tyleek. But this third-year leap has to happen across the board. It can't happen for everybody, but it needs to, honestly. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. Let me show you. Well, I can't fucking show you. I can tell you. The sacks have fallen off over the last few years. So let's go back to let's see, 2019, 2018, 2017. Let's start there. Sacks per game. In 2017, we averaged 3.21 per game. That's pretty good, more than 3. 2018, 2.93. 2019, 3.86. Which year you think Chase Young was? Then 2020, boom, off a cliff. They go from 3.86 to 2.63 in 2020. 2021, 2.77, not any better. 2022, last year, 2.62 sacks per game. That's 34th in the country. That's not going to cut it, man. You got to get more freaking pressure from the D-line. And this is the key, in my opinion, to helping out the entire defense. You know, our scoring defense has improved. We're at 21 points a game last year, ranked 24th nationally, but we were 38th the year before. So let's not, go nuts. So we're improving, but we got to get pressure on the freaking quarterback. So let's start with the DNs. Jack Sawyer making the move back to edge rusher opposite JT had to be done. In my opinion, Jack had 4.5 sacks last year at that Jack position, which Knowles said was only 15% of the year. 15% they played that Jack position last year. I call bullshit there because Jack's a better player than that. He should be a double-digit sack guy. I believe Jim Knowles ruined Jack Sawyer's sophomore season. I think he jacked Jack's season. I think it's bullshit. I'm hanging that on Jim Knowles entirely. Distracted Jack from his defensive end development, which he needed. And so now he's back with the edge rushers. So it's nice that Larry won that fight. 1 second. Hope you didn't see that. JT, let's talk about him. He needs to build on last season. Again, consistency. We talked about that yesterday. He had 3.5 sacks, 4 hurries. He showed he can take over a game completely and dominate and pretty much hand us the victory, like he did against Penn State. But after that, though, just 1 sack and 4 TFLs in the last 5 games of the year. You got to you got to show up consistently, man. You can't just have one monster game and then ride the rest of the season out on it. So JT, Jack, that's your starters. Consistency, and let's see that leap from year 2 to year 3. Next up, Caden Curry, second-year guy. He'll be third in the rotation, most likely. He only played 78 snaps on defense, but he has put on 10 pounds in the offseason, so tightening up a little bit. Let's see what he can bring us. Mitchell Melton, I'm very interested. This guy's like he's like a whisper around, people talk about him, but he was in that 2020 class. So this is his 4th year. Injuries have plagued him. He had the ACL a year ago in the spring game. Can he help the pass rush this year? He was penciled in to be that jack before he was injured last year. So can he crack that rotation? Now the two guys that are going to get meaningful snaps at DN, Kenyatta Jackson. Oh, by the way, he's put on 13 pounds in 1 year. Amari Abor up 19 pounds. These guys have to get snaps. You got to start developing these guys. These are second-year guys. You got to get them in there. Little to no action last year for them. So then on the D tackles, let's focus on Ty Hamilton, Mike Hall, and Ty Leak. Ty Hamilton played the second most snaps last year among the tackles. He had half a sack and 2 hurries. Not exactly your QB pressure from the interior. So will he end up getting a starting nod over Mike Hall or Ty Leak? Mike Hall, 5 TFLs and 2 sacks in the first 2 games last year. But injuries, his shoulder limited him the rest of the season. Did not record a sack or a TFL in the last 6 games of the year. This is what I was talking about with JT. Great. You had a great first couple of games of the year, but you gotta continue and get better. You got to get better over a season and continue to be consistent. So to not have a sack or TFL in the final 6 games, that's not great, especially with the layoff before the college football playoff game. It was like over a month, man. Tyleek had 1 sack last year in 253 snaps. He has to improve his run defense. I believe I mentioned this yesterday. Some of his run defense grades are atrocious. A 43 PFF grade against Wisconsin last year, 42.7 against Iowa, in the 60s versus Georgia, Maryland, Rutgers, Notre Dame. You got to be better than that. And then in some games, he's not even providing much pass rush. So, and he's getting serious snap counts. Like 250 snaps last year. So you gotta get consistent, and you gotta start. Showing the effort and responsibilities on both sides, run and pass. While we're looking at PFF grades, Mike Hall, not so great against Iowa either. A 16.6. That's on 25 snaps, man. Holy shit. Against Northwestern, a 27.6. Oh, those are tackling grades. I'm sorry. Run defense in the 60s against Rutgers, 62 against Iowa. Penn State, 58. Atrocious. Indiana, 55. Where are you even on the field? 61 against Michigan. These run defense grades got to get better. And I know you're an interior pass rush specialist kind of guy, but there's some games where you're down in the 50s, against Notre Dame, against Penn State, against Maryland, against Georgia. So interior, lots of room for improvement there. And again, these are 3rd-year guys. They got to make that jump. We don't have a lot of depth down there. We got Hero Canoe. That's the only other guy on the depth chart, right? I mean, so what do? You got McDonald and Will Smith Jr. coming in this class, but they're not going to play. They're not going to be ready as freshmen. So anyway, The defensive line has to get back to that rush men, pushing the O-line back into the quarterback's lap. Can you do it, Larry? Can you get these guys ready? Can you motivate them? We need to see it this year. All right, that's all I got for you today. Appreciate you guys. Have a good and safe St. Patty's Day. I don't know what to say. That's it. Take care. Appreciate you. Sunday night, we will be live and in person. I'll try to be live. YouTube live, 8 p.m. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.